Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great start to your week. Hope you had a great time over the weekend. You got to do the things that you wanted to do, regardless to what it is that you are setting out to do. I want you to remain focused. I want you to remain committed, and I want you to believe in what it is you're going after. Before I get started, I want to remind you that there are always going to be resource links in the description box of every video, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it's going to be at. There's going to be resource links. Today, two great resource links. The first one is the Epic Ram Community of High Achievers. If you have not joined this community, you're missing out. I started this community some weeks back before the end of the year for the purpose of creating an environment where people who wanted to grow themselves in whatever area, finance, business, relationships, it didn't matter. Wherever you wanted to grow and whatever you wanted to become, I wanted to create an environment where it could be done, where you could be around like-minded people, where you could be around people who have already done what you're trying to do, where you could plug into resources that would fan your flame, resources that would provide you insight, resources that would be a sounding board for your ideas, and an advisor in your movements. And we have grown since I started that. And what really has blown my mind is the vast majority of the people who have come in so far are those who I will call higher achievers, those who have already attained a certain level. These are people that a lot of them are people I've worked with in the past, or people who have definitely benefited from some of the services that I offer. And so they're here now, and they're literally going to be the people you're plugging into. These people have done some extraordinary things, and I'm proud to say that I played a role in that. But these people have become extraordinary in their own right. And so they're here now. And so it really blew my mind that the people who jumped on the opportunity to be a part of this community were people who are already on their grind, already doing some pretty exceptional things. I want everybody, regardless of where you're at right now, to have this opportunity. That's why I made this membership so accessible. No, it's not free, but for an annual membership with all the benefits you're going to get as a part of this membership, it's something you definitely need to delve into. This is a place where you come and you actually have an environment that's not going to suck the life out of you. That's not going to send you 50 million negative responses to your ideas. That's not going to tell you you can't. That's not going to tell you you're not big enough, not smart enough, not good enough. These are the people you're going to plug in. They're going to show you how to get there. These are the people that you can plug into that's going to encourage you. I created this environment. We had an awesome Q&A, again, with some pretty heavy hitters. These are predominantly business owners, CEOs, and things of that nature. And we had this unbelievable Q&A. We do Q&As every week, and everybody's invited. And you get to table whatever you're going through, whatever it is you want to do, however it's going. And we do that. We do in courses. We have breakout rooms in mental health, breakout rooms about relationships, breakout rooms about finance, breakout rooms about entrepreneurship. And all of this stuff is a part of the membership. If you are seriously looking to do something, this is a great place to start. And it's an annual membership, and we're going hard in the paint each and every day, and we're growing this thing, and I want you to be a part of it. Second is the Rapid Change Breakthrough Session. I am offering today only, and I can't tell you when the next time will be because I get in trouble for doing this, but I'm going to offer the Rapid Change Breakthrough Session for 50% off. So this is 50% off the normal price, and this is getting with me. If you've ever worked with me, just imagine when you watch these videos, what happens. Imagine me sitting up and focusing all that energy and attention specifically on the issue you have, or what it is you need to do, or what's going on with you. What comes out of that? It is one of the most impactful and explosive encounters that you have, because I'm here to make something happen for you in this breakthrough moment. And it is exciting. It is empowering, and it's intense, but we get it done. So if you haven't ever did that, this is the first thing. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to see what it's like to work with me on a long-term basis. It's a quick peek inside of this machine that loves to serve. So either one of those, you need to click. You definitely need to become a part of the Epic Realm community. And if you're looking to make an immediate move and a change, you're just trying to find a way to make that breakthrough, you need to be a part of that. Now, let's talk. I want to introduce you to a truth. You've probably heard it in a number of different ways, multitudinous different ways. It's probably been expressed to you. I want to definitely share this with you, and then I'm going to show you how. I'm going to walk you through a process that elucidates or clarifies just why, you know, you are what you choose to be. You don't get to choose a great deal of the situations and issues and things you go through. A lot of them are actual results of decisions you made in the past. But a lot of times it's just things that are happening that other people are doing. Sometimes you're just born into a situation that is not conducive to you excelling, and you've got to work your way out of that. Sometimes you are cast in the midst of a fire that's burning at intense levels, and you must find a way to quench it and remove yourself from the danger of it. But what I'm trying to tell you is, at every cost, in every situation, it's possible. What I want to do is I'm going to start with a series of questions. And this is not one of those videos that's going to be tantalizing where I'm going to play to your sensitivities and talk sweet to you and tell you all the things you want to hear. That's never been me, but it's definitely not going to be now. I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to challenge you because I want the best of you to come out. And I want you to really start to look at yourself as being the catalyst for change. Nothing on the outside is going to change until you change what's on the inside. And that's not an easy thing. And I'm not going to tell you that it is. I'm not going to tell you that every day of my life is peaches and creams, because it's not. But what I can tell you is I've learned to understand that I'm built for it, that I'm built for the battle, and that when I withstand the challenge, there's a reward for withstanding the challenge, that there comes with me enduring processes, the promise, the prize, the things that I desire. It's important for you to understand that. But let me ask you a couple of questions, well, a series of questions. Why have you let go of your vision? Why have you let go of your dream? Why have you let go of the thing that your heart desired the most? Why did you settle? Why did you settle for less than you knew deep down inside you wanted? Uh, was it because you started to listen to and believe the sweet nothings of negativity whispered by minimal minded people? Was it because of the fear that sets you on edge because you're fearful of failure, you're fearful of pain, you're fearful of discomfort, you're fearful, some of you are even fearful of success. Some of you are so afraid that you might actually succeed, but you can't handle the success. There's a bunch of fear. I love the way Will Smith put it, though. He said that I believe that God put everything worth having on the other side of fear. And I add to that. I think that God placed everything worth having on the other side of fear and pain, or fear and discomfort. The things that are really worth having, you got to go through some things to have. It is a litmus test or a filter to ensure the things that are truly worth having, that people have earned the right to have them and can possess them and sustain them in the most difficult of times. See, if I give you something of great value and there's no work invested in having it, then there's no value given to it because it came too easy. There is a natural process within our thought processes, within our natural psychology, that causes us to give value to the things we have invested the most in, invested the most time in, invested the most energy in, invested the most pain in. Those things have value. But when something comes easy, we tend to treat it, no matter how valuable it may seem to other people, tend to treat it with less value. Look, so the thing is that you've been sitting back and living life at a fraction of what your design indicates you're capable of living life at, because you have embraced the notion that the pain is too much, the discomfort is too much, the fear or the idea of failing at something is too much. So you play it safe. It's not really what I want, but I know I can do this. It's not really what I really desire, but I know I can do this. So it's a bunch of people meandering through the maze of mediocrity and living a life of average because it's safe. But deep down inside, it's eating at you. You're literally committing spiritual suicide because it's sucking the life out of you. And you're wondering why you don't have any fulfillment. You're wondering why you're never at ease. You're wondering why you're never at peace. Yes, everything that you, because you're playing it safe, it's not a lot of risk involved. It's not a lot to lose. But the problem is, whenever there's not a lot to lose, there's not a lot to gain. You got to start to think like a champion, speak like a champion, walk like a champion, grind it out. You got to literally shift your paradigm, shift your thinking, change how you view things, and move in a way that is representative of what you say you desire. See, when I talk to people, regardless of what we're talking about, I'm listening to what they're saying, but I'm also studying what they have done and what they are doing. So you're telling me you want this, but I don't see any action that is indicative of the fact that you say you want it. I mean, that you really want it. Now, you say you want it because it's nice to have, but how bad do you want it? See, if you don't want it bad enough to go out and fight for it, you're not going to have it. If you don't want it bad enough to go out and live for it, you're not going to have it. If you don't want it bad enough to make some sacrifices for it, you're not going to have it. If you don't want it bad enough to take some risk for it, you're not going to have it. There's nothing worth having that doesn't come with risks. You fall in love with the most unbelievable person in the world. You're risking your heart. Because no matter how awesome and spectacular they are, they're human. And at any given moment, they can move in a way that could cause you pain. You are risking your heart, but in order to love, you've got to risk it. There's nothing you're going to have in this life that doesn't worth having, that doesn't come with a level. You're going to have to get out there. You have to take it. You got to stop overthinking your desires. Because if you start to overthink them, you'll talk yourself out of them because you've grown up in an environment that wants to play safe. You've grown up in an environment that caters to comfort. You've grown up in an environment that looks at it and says, man, that's going to be pretty uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take the comfortable route. So when you start to overthink your desires, you start to look at all the possibilities of experiencing setbacks, experiencing delay, experiencing frustration, disappointment, experiencing pain. And you decide, no, man, I don't want that. So then what do? You crawl back into your space of comfort, but you never truly grab hold of the things that you were literally designed to experience. Why? Because other people are going to be watching you and studying you and determining within themselves what's possible. This is about more than just you. Your life isn't yours alone. Your life was created to be a force in this world that impacts other people. And so you don't have the luxury of sitting in your own space and being comfortable. That's not reflective of the designer. That's not reflective of the creator. That's not reflective of the God that you say that you believe in when you're walking around and playing it safe and easing through life in a place of being average because you are afraid to step out and truly live in the promise of your own purpose. You have handicapped yourself with excuses. Oh man, you've got an excuse for everything that you should have done that you haven't done. Well, man, I've got this, I've got the kids and I've got this and, I've got this career, and I'm working from this time to this time. And, I went through this and I had that happen to me. And the bottom line is, if you look at the people who are thriving in this world and you search them out, yes, there are going to be some people who grew up with silver spoons in their mouth, but you're going to find that the vast majority of people who have got on this world came up and had some of the same challenges you had. There are some people out there who didn't know their father. There's some people out there who grew up in extreme poverty. There's some people who grew up in an abusive and neglected home. There's some people who grew up with intellectual challenges and they were tagged in school and labeled as learning disabled that are going out there and blowing up the world and excelling. One of them that everybody's all hot about right now is Elon Musk. He's on the autism spectrum. Don't tell me what you can't do when you put your mind to it. Don't let anyone talk you out of your vision, talk you out of your dream. You have a responsibility to God the creator, to walk in the promise and the potential of your design. You don't have to be great to get started in this life, but you do have to get started in order to be great. You have to get out of the shift of moving where everybody's doing the same thing. See, that's where average happens. See, that's a default setting. If I just do what everybody else doing, I'll get what everybody else gets. And most people will accept me because I'm right where they're at, and nobody will ever call me. And let me tell you something. People talk about accountability all the time. You need to be accountable to your spouse. You need to be accountable to your children. You need to be accountable to your employer or to your clients. But the person you need to be accountable to the most is yourself. You know who I have the greatest concern of letting down in my entire life? Me. The greatest concern I have is that I let myself down, because I don't think anybody has higher expectations of me than me. So it's me that is most likely to become disgruntled if I let myself down. So I strive every day to make sure that I don't let myself down. I don't always get the results I want when I want them, but I leave the effort out there every day. And I can be okay with that. I can be okay with not getting the results right now, but having the effort every day, because the effort will eventually produce the results. I understand that. I understand those principles. I've lived those principles my entire life. I've seen it in other people's lives. I've seen it. It is real. So I understand that it doesn't always work on my time frame, but it will work. So I wake up every day and I go hard in the paint. You've heard me say, I live my life on full so that I'll die on E. What does it mean? It means I'm not going to leave any potential untapped. I'm not taking any of my potential to the grave with me. I'm going to live it each and every day. I'm going to walk it out each and every day. I'm going to be at my best each and every day. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be the best there is. It means I'm not the best I am at that moment. I'm not leaving anything. I'm not squinching. I'm not ducking. I'm not running from anything. I'm walking in my purpose. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. There's too many people that have unbelievable potential, but are cowered down in a corner because they are afraid of what might happen if they don't succeed. They're afraid of what someone might say if they don't come out on top. They're worried about the opinions of minimal-minded people that never meant them any good in the first place. Stop being consumed with other people think of you. Stop letting the opinions of other people define you. Start walking in your purpose. If I told you before, if I ever just the things that I had to go through to end up back here after having a catastrophic setback, what I had to go through, what I had to fight through. You don't think people will look at that? Were people that had called themselves my friend that were silently celebrating the fact that I failed. You know, they would in my face call me the golden child, but behind my back be hoping that at some point I prove I'm human. Well, of course, I was human. And eventually I was going to make a mistake. Eventually, I was going to do something that wasn't the best thing to do. Eventually, I was going to suffer the consequences of making a bad decision. And I took a hard hit. But I found out a lot of people that were in my corner weren't in my corner because they were really my friends. They were in my corner because they needed me, or they wanted a front row seat to watch me fall. But what they did not take into consideration was just how hefty I was built. God built me to win. And so when I fall, I don't take it as a sign of defeat. I take it as a challenge to rise and come back harder. And that's what I did. But I'm telling you, if I would have folded in the heart of adversity, I would not be sitting in front of you today. Many of the people who contact me and tell me what a blessing these videos are, you wouldn't be hearing them if I would have folded in the heart of adversity, in the midst of adversity, in the darkness of those moments. If I would have stood up and succumb to them, you wouldn't have been hearing about what you're hearing about right now. I'm telling you that there is no darkness deep enough. Matter of fact, if you go to the book of I believe it's Second Chronicles, you'll see where Solomon sits up and says that God dwells in the darkness. Something that was brought to me when I was going through those dark moments, trying to recover and trying to come back. There was a bunch of dark moments, but I kept being reminded. God said, don't fear the darkness, because God dwells in the darkness. Even the dense and intense darkness does God dwell. See, I was never alone. I was never by myself. The people I thought I could pick up the phone and call wasn't there, but I wasn't by myself. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to do something with yourself. You're going to have to make a move. Stop waiting to be motivated. Stop waiting to be inspired by someone, and just start moving. I'm almost done, but I really want you to get this. Nobody can change your life but you. You don't have to see the staircase. You don't have to see the entire staircase, but you do have to take the first step. Sometimes on your ascension and your rise and you're moving up this staircase, you can't see every step, but you got to have the faith and believe in what you're doing. You got to learn how to start trusting your heart and your intuition and stop trying to check boxes. Sometimes, what I'm saying, God plants the seed of your vision in your heart. It's not going to be in the X's and O's. It's great to have a plan. You're going to need a plan. But I'm telling you, if you trust your heart and you start to listen to the depths of what's on the inside, the seed of your soul, deep in your subconscious, it's telling you move. And you're consulting your fears. You're consulting your anxiety. You're consulting your past. You're consulting minimum-minded people. You're consulting the opinions of others instead of consulting your design, consulting your purpose, consulting what God meant for you to be in this world. Oh, it's time to change it. This life is so much shorter than you think it is. That's why you can't spend it living it for someone else, living someone else's life, living someone else's expectations. You have a purpose here. Go out and touch this world in a way that you are never forgotten. That's the best way to honor the designer. That's the best way to honor the creator, is to go out and be so forceful in your impact in this world that people say, whatever they have, I want. There's no greater way to evangelize God than to live a life of power. I'm telling you, it's time to do that. Finally, like I said, we always talk about accountability to this person, accountability to that person. No. Your accountability has to be to you first. You owe yourself an explanation. You owe yourself an explanation of why you haven't moved yet. You owe yourself an explanation of why you're letting everyone else talk you out of your vision. You owe yourself an explanation of why every time the opportunity presents itself, you balk and you step back. You owe yourself an explanation why you are only tapped in to 5 to 6 to 7% of your full potential. You owe yourself an explanation. You got to explain to you why you're not living a life of greatness, why you're not living a life of exemplary power and force, why you're not living a life that is phenomenal. That's an explanation you owe to yourself. And it's time that you start giving yourself an explanation. Explain to yourself why you haven't tapped into your potential. Explain to yourself why you're sitting around living what everyone else is living with. There's so much out there for you to live that you can grab hold to, that you can move in despite what's going on around you. What's going on around you has absolutely nothing to do with the capacity you have to live an exceptional life. Stop buying into that. There's no such thing as lack. You're living lack because you have accepted lack. Start to speak power. Start to live power. Start to think power. Start to walk power. You will experience power. Am I telling you this is easy? Never once in my life have I told you it was easy. I told you it was possible. And that's all I've ever had to know, is if it's possible, I can do it. And I'm willing to commit, and I'm willing to give everything I have to do it. I'm challenging you to do the same. Look, as I said in the beginning, this is what I want you to do. I want everybody who watches this video to join the Epic Realm community of high achievers. We're operating on social media, off social media. We have Zoom meetings, Google meetings. We're connecting on many levels. We have a centralized location on Facebook that we're eventually going to move off to another location. But the features of this group allows us to set up rooms where we can deal with everything from mental health, relationships, business, business plans and entrepreneurship, finance, and how you're handling your money, and all of those things. We're doing all of that, and it's all a part of the membership. If you have not joined, it is definitely in your best interest to do so. We've got some heavy hitters in there. We're bringing in some more. Like I said, I'm so excited just to see a bunch of my past clients, a couple of current ones that are actually the first ones to jump on the opportunity to be a part of this membership, because they know what it's about. And so they're already in there, and we're sharing with each other. We're feeding off each other's energy. We're coming up with all these ideas, and we're ready to connect with you and help you get to where you're going. And this is an annual membership. You definitely want to be a part of that. Finally, for those of you who want to work directly with me, I have for today only, and I can't tell you when I'll do it again, because like I said, I get in trouble every time I do it, but I have for today reduced the cost of my rapid change breakthrough session to 50% of what the regular price is. And I can only guarantee that for today. So if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, this is a chance to do it. This is a chance to get out there. And like people say, well, how do I get an idea of what that's like? Look at what you're getting in this video and then say, this guy, imagine this guy sitting down with me and his whole focus is solely on what I'm dealing with. What would that be like? How would that help me? And that's a part of what it is. I'm going to come, and it's not going to be just about energy. It's not going to be just about emotion. It's going to be saying, okay, this is what's going on. Let's find out why we're doing that. Why we're not doing this. Let's find out what's the blockade. Let's get through that one blockade that opens up the gate. That's what a breakthrough is. The blockade that opens up the gate. I'm going to help you open up the gate. And if you haven't ever been on the other side of the gate, you need to get with me. On that note, look, I'm gonna get out of here. I absolutely appreciate every last one of you allowing me to invade your space each and every day. I'm hoping that I'm giving you some things that you can fight with, giving you some things that you can work with, giving you instruments and tools that will help you do the things that you say you desire to do in this world, whatever it is. It's your reason. It's so important that you do what you say you're going to do or what you desire to do. You can't let anyone talk you out of your vision. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to get out here. As I always say, I live my life on full so that I die on E. And I challenge you to do the same. On that note, I am out of here. You have an unbelievable day.